Sammy Jamfi Babontin betu say on it gold board in the day. IMF for Ankasa Waboka and it is BOG Bank of Ghana and Aboka and you know Sammy Jamfi and Aboka. Again, the Yabetombi only say extortion be akoso. A phenomenon can be seriously is can be one man or the any bre and I was say gold board Aboka. I don't want to know what here it was saying say will be a person will be lead MPP say national chairman. No.
As will be a lady MPP as national chairman, I say you're very factual. Because one of the things I mean when say one year factual, your decisions based upon your man, just a year fluid, na idea a concern.
Hearsay.
Yeah, hearsay any idea. Who do your decision? One share now on Wakuchiro. Maybe if you say very simple. Whether Jonah swallowed the whale or the whale swallowed Jonah, there was a swallow. 1.6 as a 7 billion be ayira. In the encourage. So Sammy Jamfi and yet gold board and a bokana. I am a see a Bank of Ghana and the encounter forensic audit because Sikano de Mudu. In the end, between Tenassi, Emma says Sikano and Grasa. In the corner, a Bank of Ghana when no Disicano, and no one managing Yamia. I say, I quite said, don't fasten. They don't fasten. Says, I mean, Jeffinsu, and what makes us our losses soon up so this is so. Then also forensic audits. And say, accountability, dear. So, buying no be buying Juma. We are there, accountability, dear, Ebeba. It means if it's a young corruption, Nasa extortion, a high crime. Now, he who alleges has to prove. Now, I can say extortion, it's not extortion. In this, I say, I know, after you submit me as you for defamation. Oh, and passion. We say extortion, we prove. Or by an, then okay. Why record one now? You have it on tape. So send you text messages. Who text messages now. And so to me prove. And if there's no link it, your kind, so be risk. Scan of a streno, and so to be linking to threats. So I can say, one year where mammy, I may say, Nina answer, so your evidence. Indeed, if he said, as a high criminal, a bar near very high. Indeed, leader, I find it dear, meaning yadri. On for Saquanusu, no make sure say, there won't be piano, Yibu, Nasicano Modu pa.
Right, but I know one was say, Obeka say, Matogo da Boka.
I say gold also subject to price fluctuations.
Okay.
In the be auto no na sikani say ukoton no ukoton at the wrong time. Into ukoton right and I will lose it. And normally no say hold gold no. Now we train and my price don't cost and sana what ton gold no I mean enya ho infaso. It then there are trading issues. Oh, into gold and there here cash workers so the cash akoko stage cash. Even forest trade crap on over see no $1 now so there be to in bima. One show me aboka. Into any there me find say yenko hwem 1.6 billion say a car based upon obi negligence. Now yes a criminal a behind it. That one they say me sure say o man pay na ma crap on you be adwin say I see him because accountability there it should happen. So I didn't ask him. I'm a fork. Yes. So we should go to the bottom of it. Well, because can me say I say go because the money is big go. The money big go.
I let's go kuma say the bro.
Master ja. You can be 150 million pounds sterling. Here is you. Let me calculate it. Here is you. Into whatever it is. Now, sir, extortion, you know, there are two. I feel you're marking there. I think, say, a bad department, it may approve. And then I think he'll be in trouble. But
no crown here, say,
he'll be in trouble.
And no crash off and no crack was in the sky. Zooming, sir, what was in the sky, Kuranwa. I don't find 1.7 billion.
No. So be a slow car as a matured person. And so, quabonti, a cocasse was slow car. In a risk.
I would say, Chama was this car.
Aye. No guess cross riska. Obias riska. A yes, Master Obias riska. In this kind of Obias, me just on one casano was resicasa. In Sicasreno is nothing. Is nothing but linking it to that threat. Ni say one mammy says Sicana. May I say, ni say, and no, I have problem. No, into once he links it, no, so prove. So Obesren Sicano or can say one mammy Sicana. May I say, ni say. I don't think say let me approve. I really don't think so. Because I don't think say leader I can say I threaten you if you don't give him money. I say this. No.
Extortion there, that means say what born in training what you see.
Yeah, it's all proof. And easy. I then phone call and otina and no record on I say and I doubt so to me proof had and also have your marking so say so Obeka could sue defamation. The leader member of Hawaii. And you know I'm a serious can be because what not continue boom. Because can boom. Member number ready.
Already we see you Sammy Jemfini some radio stations.
My Mexican Kosu Kakra. Na member ready.
And a great campaign. Right, yeah, to a baby 2024 di to me and mama paying John Dramani Mahama and DC are buying about 18 to 19 monthly. I'm a monitor saying.
Well, I didn't know on the indicators on CD Kakai. They look kind of good.
Macroeconomic indicators.
Look in a way, but economy is not moving, it's not expanding. In terms of there's some artificial hold be some gymnastics be. Koso na it is a nyinsen uchu mu tabe pie nti me sure say sooner than later no so more expand the economy now it will blow back because new money is unsustainable me the sana me hu no nti me the indicators in the ocean have so me papa or adwuma or statistics so statistics there you can use it to tell any story you want to tell. And you can always massage it whichever way and tell your story. But of course, who said prices are a little stable near, but still, I believe there's been no effort by government, in my view, from where I sit. So I may expand the economy.
Because banning making efforts to expand the economy now purchasing to the ordinary Ghanaian.
Say a free market. Into a goods and services exchanging hands and moving around and create economy. In 2% economy no grow. It's all making sure facilities are movements. Me whom be in that direction. Say a facilitate, say a chiancro ye diomo kaka, obi ye a juma, say be trying to come as a kaba, abe krum, abe chasing goods, some microphone so et me produce. One passion. Me who's hard there because economy there simply put say movement of goods and services, production, distribution, a standard here. Me who's hard there, me who say ya expanding the new momentum about economy. Me who ebia who there for me de me who say anything new about. Right,
and then the Bible try kunya so be na dwene say on spend. Obi keep puska no on spend.
I say papa bi mi mboni di o ga say me say obia edi ni suban eba presidency no. It is that no si won say Kufuor no say ota SS kapa. Businessman dey bia na won no say ska. Nti Kufuor be di president no. No nam and no stress sika di ba Ghana eyi no di sika ne abaye George Bush highway onam sa. And I see the late Atamos no. May you so rest in perfect peace. I see the late Atamos no, or no a civil servant. It's on the or Kipusika or Hudo in Skaka no the Ecosina. It's on also the presidency no. In the event is Ebia Sana almost on with the Ebia forcing or discussing through on stress country or hold this can and on spend this can about our consequences. Because the card there would you be so Chanica when Chanica affecting crop for Momu Jumano, no Momu 20 animal or Momu Jumano, a dibino, all the value chain. There's no way. I mean, there's no way over to me a move country by withholding money. It's not possible. It's just not possible. Because the people who busia na na ne kugu na collapse na eka emi mu krabo be famu it will not work. It's not work. But I'm some sure some be release ya there because who releasing so another mechanism is to me hold do na move. And inflation can be good. You know, inflation can be good because inflation no, if there's no inflation they are in trouble. So inflation ni hold no microphone to me estimated the way a price because they hold their money, they don't spend. But when there's inflation, they can then estimate, say, nah, inflation, some level of inflation, good. And this is how do I going to say I'm going to hold inflation, bring it down to deflation. Deflation, they say, because people have to know what is going to be tomorrow. And inflation helps to also aid.
Right, we are talking about joining in a ASASPA 107.3. I'm assuming be dunkununi yakase rate and this year by Sammy.
Oh, me, that's my rate. If you see 40%, because me who here they be amount for be some side and me ma 40% because me share them sa expansion or the sprint they be here no me who.
But someone started the big push. Creative Breakers someone started the big push. They embarking on market we have friends in 24-hour market economy market. Our mubu idwagu. Monster TVB.
Our media my say tag ya tu din na me dem hu hwe nti me say agroniform ya tu ni din ene ya happen to na tag ya de no but ade no e move a ye be hu me dem sin there say ade ne em say slogans
sa 24-hour economy no.
I think say it was a campaign slogan. Oh,
but it was secretariat, the whole secretariat.
Yeah, the two hodom no. I feel they say a policy. The infam back. Oh, a big crap or muka 24. No moon name say a be chifansa. Say a chifans and no be expected. It is one year policy behind it now. I think at this moment because me no me see Juma 24 hours that. ACS BPS they data entry me na me dey buy
okay
me na me share say ni bibia na ye juma around the clock. Oh, we grown from 0 to 2,600 employees.
Wow.
And it became the biggest private company. So I have worked 24 hours. I know how those things. Meaning say how to create an economy. You need to have the demand and the supply, and you need to balance it in a particular way to get that 24-hour thing. But to create a business. Now to create a 24-hour economy, it's not by slogan. And so you can, if you don't look at the supply side, there's absolutely no way you succeed. If you say it was a slogan, excellent slogan, and as I say there, now back it up. It will not be easy.
Right. Recently, an MPP a year demonstration, democracy is under attack demonstration. Who believe the party no as national chairman? Critical feel obeka say na ye ka say kabima min kabina jiegua obi a demonstration MPP kwa obi anchi obi amu obi atimi kana sem chairman wo ba he wawura ha obi antata nti ye ka say democracy is under attack na ye patch say sa penalty na chairman sana hu no.
Say democracy, it even goes beyond the speaking. Institutions, it is social institutions, and they support to democracy. It's the very moment when say you weaken institution, then you know say our democracy is in real danger. On a passion. And as for the speaking, in the beginning was the word. In the casa you have to allow people to speak. Even sometimes we call excess. In Kwasa say, once I say kufuo police for kochi obi ewo kumase. Minister appear stadium as then say or keke can say if I could or command munyano because we are young democracy. Into sometimes who cause a chin for speaking. I'm not condoning say I'm out for some normal defaming crofo, but sometimes because democracy near young into one soon so that I can allow it to grow. But so chichi crofo the chilling effect ba. And our democracy is too young for us to go after those things. Then you are intolerant, it affects the thing. And when people stop speaking, they will react in other ways. That's a problem.
I bet you the civil uprising about.
I'm telling you. So let them speak. Why are you afraid? Let them speak. And then, at MDD, Trump, there's YouTube now, at MDD, upon at MDD. You can't be chasing everybody. So let people say what they want to say, and let's be a little more tolerant. And he said, I condone excesses. No, and you're fine. Maybe he said the Sammy Jemiko Kai say yes, free speech. So I call the family.
Yeah.
So they should take him there and deal with him. It's a simple matter. On the budget. But say, especially Utisu as a government official, not citizen be can be etiawa. Be very careful. Be very, very careful because it can have a chilling effect and it can kill our democracy. It is also what's the Bible? Also, all things are helpful, not all things build the body. It is possible, but taking the action can kill the body of democracy.
Right, quickly, my memory bit no so na ye nim komo emfiri ho. Recently ubetina yachiwe, MPC ye de ko MPC so wo why so MP we are targeting say na wotwe ye beche no. A weekend MPP as a political party ana.
Yeah, a weekend MPP as a political party. Me de bia me ka yachimida. Atamus echimi.
Okay.
And on the echo court.
What has true? No, so I then.
Oh, so I see cause of financial loss to the state. Ghana International Airlines. Mimi washes sumo, yachimi. And I am the echo back and forth. BNI cells. I'm detaining in the Saturday. I'm also my lawyer Crabbe and Membi. It's a government, a human rights court, and I'm winning. Midi. And I later number chim so yes, insist ye court. And I am me. Honorable Kujum Pieni, Dr. Professor Jambafu, Akutu or say, Dr. Akutu or say, any Dr. Anani. Ye no mudia call court. But me mum dear, hey, baby Kakran and say, when so be true. Now, or the criminal case, a two, so I mean, my experience, they say, it's all separated politics, you know, from the criminal. That's all, yes, I did. Because if you more honor, person may use case, no, Eddie fans. Lawyers in the Honoma, they are not serious about the case. They say super fans don't avoid such lawyers. It's the enemy because I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer, no, not interested in anything. And we clear ourselves because we are confused in now. Say politics, politics. We can say, but when you don't focus on the legal, the one so you draw. Into me the message. Say assembly the bet 2 years so. I got out by focusing on the criminal illegal side and less about political. No. Forget about that. I'm not for Gigi so I do go to first to come back, second we cover 6 months. Obi and Besho. On be Gigi so you so I didn't for politics, but I've been a kind of say who your banner who MPP no who you better we in as in the campaign platform. We will not bet to and no matter you high PA promising a baby. People can dance on your grave. Into making sure so best separated there. Meno is an advice coming from Obia personally. And the way we came out. So it's a legal issue. Don't confuse it with politics. Call and then you'll be fine.
And don't want to say politically motivated.
Oh, yeah, it is always politically motivated. But politics is the chassis. But normally, no, say the politics is chassis. There's no case. So I say because they are politically motivated, are very difficult for them to prove. But one also want to share law, no. Now also committee on the side now, and the public court of public opinion. Obi they don't know the facts and the issues. One shall also work ya no baby no can be a uka. Ne a lazo ade ne de akoko ne akobo treat it as a legal issue and separate the two. Just say okay, Matthias, a party best support to mama lawyers. Untia lawyers and let's get rid of it. But most of the time, political. And when it's political, it has no grounding. Trust me. But you have to focus to get out.
Right, Doctor, Yamafina Yenifi Komo Kakra. Part in the Lusu ye, make us a check, but in Chebia. We can only atone for the mistakes of the past. We can't change the past. Once our truth is obey a chairperson, MPP. That means what can I say who BB? What BB? And I BB when you so. A day in a half party no 2024. Massa in Chono a buy. Because we be a person be lead party there. You should know. Those a party yeah on one who define is bab on thing yet. Also then who ye then the map party lose 2024. Okay, but that's it.
What's Anka Dr. Baumia, Enya the same number of votes and Anado Nya 2020 Anka Obiti John Mahama by 138,700 votes. And John Mahama votes so increasing by 6.1% between 2020 and 2024. Now, and cumulative annual population growth in Ghana over a 4-year period no na 7.6%. Inti President Mahama why expanding the coalition in base bia. Inti yen na sebi ye muno yen shishe nyame yi. Na 2024 election no na me kan bi. In fact I was a documented member of the campaign team.
Okay.
Good. Yedimidin so on say level 2. Level 1 ye nana domo ni bawomi am when level 2 ministers me din kan ho bi de call cabinet. But me catch your parents and say me say me pese me poko tena bus no so. Ko tena bus na air condition no bo ni ye na ejiu na ye TikTok videos. That's not the politics I understand. But Greater Accra na me hwe data na nyama enkoso ye. It may say be assigning me orphan constituencies or Greater Accra, not constituencies with MPs. It orphan constituencies because most often than not, man for real on the day of the election, there are 2 elections running, a presidential and parliamentary. Now, presidential, those who are most motivated to win the presidential, executives. Because the only way our executives never benefited from Sa Ejumaya Ye is only if Dr. Bawumia becomes the next president of Ghana. But say MP winia, Sebio MP no beko parliament, ebetua neka, ehwe ni bibia. Ya ken nyina no. Ensabesi from. Inti me pe orphan constituencies. Let me give you an example. Ashaman say one of the orphan constituencies na me call here no. Ashaman you lose point to me lose with about 45,000 votes. And this is for no in about 60 something. A hono yen time fire ni enkohodum because they don't produce members of parliament. Ni ejaomo no resources. Na baby ti say suhum. Na produce member of parliament, but the votes ni about 24 to 25,000. It's in a contribution to presidential adieno. It's stressing Ashama. Okay. But we don't focus on those things. And those were some of the issues I may observe here. Me observe say we say Ashama and say no. Any obom domiabra Ablekuma South Crow. It was so difficult until me and I me call here strategic plan. You know budgeting, even helping to raise funds to support what we're doing, because at the end of the day, there was no focus and capacity building and a way to even fund what they were doing. In the end, I also West Wagon. I Ablekuma West on the day of the election. By 4:30 to 5, Kakaribu polling station honum. Na mamina yedi sikama so onye aduane emma polling agents ndino. At that time no fair aduane nimbae. O see any end of service benefits. Sharpshooter no nso ayedi sika no nso man no. Ono nso sa sharpshooter no nso. Ono nso sika no nso di share no e no ko die. In some see one people unless you are very close. And I will share say obom dam yabra. And on that tripod ni yejuma. We say ye wo tripod just MCU any parliamentary candidate any constituency chairman na yejuma. Inso enu echi no na say nkrofo bi ho no ma yejuma ni wi no ma fa echi no ma ko say. Den tia party ni eni omo ananti ye because you see no mu ya ala nkrofo. Nti na omo according to omo no na ye omo basa. Nti uyi omo di free party album a untumi yi omudin free general election register no nti omo ko hia no mo ko omo manko afafanto omo tenam bi ena omo di abro ukọ kro wo se edo bebi krapo ana candidate ni kra sro se oni executive so ebekwa because onu sro so okọ na okọ campaign na nsem ni nyina egu abonti. So there were systemic issues untumi blame any particular person. Into these systemic issues, you per se resolve war, and they say a very systemic approach to Sadia. It's immediately me can say, me a lecturer, Anglaraski University, UK, me lecture in leadership and change, me lecture in organizational behavior and AI, me lecture in responsible and sustainable businesses. Now me share me students and they say, whenever the rhetoric is not matching the outcome, you don't blame individuals, you look at the system no na obehwe, because most of the time the power sits within the system and the culture has been formed into because say we are winning ye betunyum na no beba na ya losing lo poto Oh yes, sir.
What do you say?
We are winning. We are losing. Now I don't know if sir. The problem is the system. The system no our components. Inti me kwa me ni omudin komo. Say look, let's look at the system. Components and they say staffing. How do you choose your leaders? A damn process. Say nipa no ho ofe. And then the time aso. And I say no. Is that how you choose? Now what your matrix is so within the organization. Abaye de botechino. Saba na de bo nipa me no akoye ade same thing no. Now you suspend back na back they are protecting no. All those things they say yehwe. It's all incentive system no, motivation. A day intina mame no sebi. Why near Johnny number? I didn't know officer na baomia presidency no. Onya ho faso to the point say or the scanning share no and a wamba. A problem. Oh, into say incentivizing crop for funding. What kind of funding do we do? Say we be back I can say me osika me resources to abama me na me go di chairman. No go where. So the kind of funding for year party activities here every day no. It has to be institutional funding. And say cash flows. I buy every single day because it's your abortion who says you talk condoms, you pay school fees every single day. Biano executives now I do musika. Police station for do musika I told so abanu. So you expect them somebody to salvation bottom as a party no. It is not possible. Inti anunsu ye away I say ye. Now I share in 70 say monitoring and evaluation. These are the things that we need to be looking at. In the staffing. Let me know what doing kobo. Staffing. How do you choose people? Now my choice me say me a PhD in blockchains and decentralized finance. Me fine tune me dissertation for a PhD in law. Me back for refinement to get a PhD in law. Maybe say buy area uti hey abrante ba udo ba me ba. So buy area udo ba me. Udo ba me. Fanimba. Because me a medical doctor, me ni who experience, me who jumada, me a PhD, yes I'm friend me doctor, but for one emba me ho. Why? Because I'm not trained for it. I'm not primed for it. So you go to a medical doctor. Yes, you go to a medical doctor. It is say a part in our problems. Problems here institutional. And a baby and how to manage a political party unless you go through it. So there is no way when you are staffing. One of the issues that when you are staffing, there is absolutely no way you should give the chairmanship to Obia on hold position or party. Never. Obia on fair, even polling station meeting that. How can you give the chairmanship to the person? I think so. We have only 2027, 2028 is an election year. Election year. Rebuilding has to happen in 2027. If you give it to Obia, only even how to convene next meeting here, you are oh dear grow. I say what do Uba. I bremi. I mean blockchains na me. Ubo yari. Mekunu. So that is what is going to happen. And I tell them, say it's not for nothing. Well, it's not for nothing. Say we share national chairman. Or my largely successful no. Or mono, each and every one of them was once upon a time a regional chairman. Alajete, former Greater Accra regional chairman. Odoe Sykes, former Greater Accra regional chairman. Oh, it is Jacob Bechabilante, former Greater Accra regional chairman. Mark Menu, former Western regional chairman. Harry Neseku, former Central regional chairman. Yedi koma nkrophobia no mundi da nipa ba ko aye ondi post or party muda. It's one thing winning an election, another thing being able to manage the power. When you manage power no. So what you do is you make sure say because you the only way anipa no to me the way of a protective party is if the person passes through the party. Into how do you select the people? Make sure that those people they have political party management experience. Period. I also talk about the diversity because you see party we share 2024 statistics now. Party now reduce to 2 regions, Ashanti and Eastern. Sana reduce. Now we share in Crawford so yet to aba di national executives they largely come from the north, Ashanti and Eastern. Politics there, everybody wants to see themselves represented in politics. Until you need to, and I know the way a map needs a heat map. The way a map needs here when you the national executives they mirror the regions they are represented. You expand your coalition, near winning. Oh, so we have the conversation. Then another thing you should do is to say, make sure say we call October 3. And say be open panasem. Ubani yare. Umfanko be open asem. And also not be or very qualified. I think so make sure say there's representation. Because politics is all about representation. Or party and omusu party because bibi ko sia. Eso muko biso. Now I share the role of Greater Accra in the politics. Every time be win the role of Greater Accra play in the thing.
Greater Accra, significant role.
Exactly. Greater Accra is the region with the largest number of registered voters. And so in the year 2020 and 2024, when we had those systemic collapses, in those years, you could share, and the party somehow decided say they will not give Greater Accra representation. Our national 2 occasions, and we saw the consequences. Greater Accra Yankran for Gadangwe for a form only 29% of Greater Accra.
Okay.
In the most of the free different regions and number Greater Accra. Almost here representation, meaning Microphobia, Greater Accra. I had no on politics. It is a representation at our national level now. Then there's a problem. I think beyond the tribe, Greater Accra, every headquarters be our TUC for GM before will be our Galamsey and to Greater Accra. In so had a better demonstration because Greater Accra and Koya among for the a around. So you need Obia or experience in managing Greater Accra. And it's not only about tribe, it's also your professional. We sure it is a Jake, man about town. Or the anybody so we should be largely also bringing attention to the party. It's a very competitive region, so it's not about winning or losing Greater Accra. It's about being able to manage Greater Accra so that we stabilize Greater Accra. The last thing I want to say before maybe we move on to your next thing is Greater Accra a problem child. Now I made the graph be a demonstrating.
Okay.
Yeah margins our Ashanti region. Any NDC4 margins our Greater Accra. We share the year 2000 for buy now margin near about 1.4 million. We share 2016 1.14 million. 2024 the difference 63,800 votes. In Tenukra because Bafano got Tieka. Now see 63,800 who the cocky to South Crown to for Tixakano. In Greater Accra not being able to stand on its own and at least be competitive because you lose poor. Normally you lose by 50,000. It's very, very competitive. You see, over 500 something thousand votes, and you did lose. Now, did you call Ashanti votes? No. In the entire Nyasa Bafano to go and cure other places. And Ashanti, so between 2016 and 2024, no, your votes were Ashanti swatted by 10.5%. And the NDC4 votes Ashanti no across by 10.1%. Into Ashanti so air confirm. Into you need a chairman or to Greater Accra. Ashanti so why national politics or me national politics they are so Ashanti mu. Me say me Ashanti ni. I'm in Kumasi 7-8 years because Prempe College. Into at least I know the culture and I'm national politics. Me did second national vice chairman. Into I am saying that I am the person you should be looking at because I understand not only Greater Accra to solve the thing, I need to get Eastern region stabilized and get Ashanti. Absolutely, yes.
Right. Chamai, the so can say we former MPP second national vice, and that means what's your BB Kakra, Greater Accra regional, your coastal areas, Lejo Kukunum ne the Keke home, and Dima MPP say sa season or Monsabeka, 34 seats a war. Greater Accra region MPP kita only 5 Areho asefem then I will be here assess the narrative.
Yeah, now first of all I say about the coalition, and the coalition every single tribe, every professional you build this coalition. NDC4 no this coalition reference 17 we are president of Ghana, former president of Ghana Medical Association or NDC MP. We go share jump sa coalition. We need to really build it back. Now in Puano, let's go back to the Kufuani Odoe Sykes year 2000. Omo say adin ye di man no. Omo can say in Puano no. Yenjama nkranfo natives.
Okay.
No munkom eno mu ye adwuma eno mu di pagya ade no.
The indigens na na call ye adwuma no.
Mu push ade.
Because omo ti omo kasa.
Yes. But another example, we said no a former chairman of Clote Colley Clifford Abuaji. Clifford Abuaji no or prepare and the cha protocol. Or ya canning. Okay, and on the cha protocol. Last minute, about 3 months to the time, and I could for any Odo Sykes friend, say, Master, part in the police, and they say, Charlie, I ain't getting in our man grand for. And the with the see form. Now I demand Abuaji because one says Sikapa.
What was
7.3? Say about power, who sacrifice my party no? Because we need this. You about power, you about my post. That's what happened. Good. Inti Abuaji is from any kofa ni adumante e buy eno bi gina ho no eno wini e kufuo wini e no eno ya Abuaji chairman of Road Safety Commission. Commission chairman oba na police dinachi. You dialogue, you construct. Sana kufuo mu eye no. Na meni nana atu ata doctor din komo. Eno nso kan say the same thing kufuo friend no. Say at that time no ni ambition on subdue. Oh, now my park was in Enko. Into Onunsu, but he believed the party, said the party was credible and the promises a party so secure. Say, oh no, or the ambition to change. And ma park was in Dunko because never say yes, some and constructed some relationships with CP before. And I didn't know if we later no, Kufu rewarding. Rewarding is from MCR, the regional minister, later no crap or Sanko Parliament. So, as a party, as chairman, you better not see. I share the interest of the party. The fact that our office obey me, if you are not the right person, now party near here say we don't force. And no bekasa. Near church will be a party so to me. I be I sure say ye femwa udi woman unsameka a very reward. Now, on also G party in India, that will depend on how we reorganize the party. Or be Jim.
Okay. Reforms ben are the bar MPP move because we say we rebuild the MPP on integrity and inclusion. Inclusion here, Alan more jai or more free party num near bring you more on board and integrity no car now party saying.
Oh, the first reform in the near funding. The way I fund the MPP. One say we has no kotoko. Chairman, the two buttons can enco baby. This party is too big. It's my proposal say, and the Political Parties Act 2000. Am I say yen engage in business activities, holding movable and immovable property. Into the my proposal, my delegates when I go around and then say, me to me I can say me a resourceful, but mean to me should be a. There are 7 police station executives times 38,000 plus polling stations. Who multiplies upward of 256,000. Obi and what me should be because who can say should be who should hear apart from sa normal condoms ni na obetoni abortion. We ni nyina sincha. Sa na me nyina untumi here. So it's not possible so obi be can say me no sika me hwe I'm resourceful. It doesn't make sense to me. So the first major reform I mean the ban is and my boss had the rules are the first major reform no e be say okay you got trasia e be use your part in the brand.
Okay.
Near the generating income.
How?
Once we share Methodist, brand Methodist, we use some brand, a woman members, so my former insurance company, our friend Danwell. We call Roman Catholic for Suhonoma, we use Roman Catholic brand, and now I know some of their former insurance company, on friend quality insurance. It's my major proposal to the delegates, Minomushan, say, let's do this. Young fire MPP brand, young formal patriotic insurance.
Okay.
Patriotic insurance is a very simple thing. And your bank, insurance. Bank idea, what mean for so be as on the sika and go to bank. I feel the sika go to bank no so. 10 years later, I come back to sika into insurance. Insurance wo hui. Wo car no, upe by force. Manage to say so your insurance. Into the issue would be which insurance company are you going to insure with? Are you going to insure with Danwell? Are you going to insure with SIC? Or with patriotic insurance. Now I believe say every single MPP person because they be running insurance company or be insure ni car no MPP insurance. Overnight insurance company will be the biggest insurance company in Ghana on the here because they have offices in 276 constituencies. You have insurance agents and brokers in 38 1,000 polling stations. And here qualification.
And no create employment to my party members.
Come here qualification. And one say well, Obi or MPP ni. And wako convince no, not in the taxi, in the truck, in the car, aba, ni insure, no in 10%. I pay you no qualification. And which you know, to explain it to them, no, who office to me to rent. No? Because insurance company need the office. We use office, no to rent number. It is a who rent here, and also the akutia. So who now see office now when you scan back. And I face insurance company use office no. I say charge electricity. Into well receiving so well condition, don't worry. We light, don't worry. We pay about so na insurance no pickups no so esi ho. Need their bohun patriotic insurance. Among for call run promise pickups or won't mean deliver. We insurance company in here pickups, in here cars, into cars and basi honum. Na patriotic insurance e bohun. Maintenance of the car no insurance company be maintain. Fueling of the car e be fueling. Organizers no na Sarah women organizers, youth organizers, any others no on be use to pickups because insurance is jumano any party jumano are the same because party for never call party for abako g omukans so in all of that no who say insurance company no you be provided the resources on a daily basis say yeah you be move ye niama na fe so me chira mo say we share insurance company and say yes I'm AB keke millions and millions of cars 15 million cars and the trucks and the taxis near Ghana yen fe mu be 1 million po na yen say premium no insurance premium you be 100 every year income never be 100 million 50% near the check claims the other 50% to be yen be bebre yen ma na on person mo dija microfinance near the financium near the move side insurance ka wo here friend found money because me bema say who premium insurance no I feel do na a treatment we ka say we go to ebi nti you say sika na kada shimpo a because yen nua man dey do mom kra no ko mum betu anyway nti a shimpo a at least the next year no we go to premium me boa na ye di kosa na we you know insurance so wo hey you can transfer insurance today from one company to the other. Into this business can start overnight. Ubeka say political party into me a business is not true. Political Party Act 2000 which is with me a business. I feel so. Ubeka say in opposition NDC for MI license. Me NDC for and me my license no. Me mother. Into the ebe say there are many insurance companies on wo honoma. You bet me running funeral insurance. You bet running another product line called petroleum because you more insurance license or more use. Such as into according to the bar, then we solve this perennial funding problem because there's a Pygmalion of management. Just say you don't let important things become urgent. Never. Important as share sent them. Say polling agents important. I mean train say last minute and sana o training. But when you sika and I will tete. But what sika share sent them. Not training because training take time. It is that's the funding strategy to replace our episodic finance now for by job let me actually party at the end of the day they are not able to do it into year mature now there way na say be afena me I drink kese be no ANC Mr. D political parties across the world how they fund their businesses their politics African National Congress or more political or more insurance company. Now, out of some insurance companies say a buyer no, and nobody set up transport businesses and other and nobody. Yes, you see a party of business. Right.
I want to come back say we'll be now a critical because say okay, now you're second national vice chair, MPP. Some fantastic ideas here. Okay, I didn't tell one found 2 tables.
I mean 2 tables.
Okay.
I mean 2 tables. Patriotic insurance to move it and then to do it.
Fun or mamfa?
No. On say a term no keteli in a way. Maybe 2 tables no so no kwampo because I'm looking at things like motivation and incentive building because already be a friend of Maslow or theory of motivation. Now theory of motivation, my vice president human resource that and I say you use for compensation and reward package. It's just say as somebody helps you achieve your objectives, you have to assure the person saying it needs to be met. Now needs no your basic needs, food, clothing, shelter, and our self-actualization. Into young as a partner, what we have to ask ourselves is, as we ask people to go and die for us, as we ask people to go and face danger,
then yes, you want more.
and then your mom, we have to assure them, not promise you, we have to put this in the constitution, canonize the thing. Say ukwa. Say ni say na be film. Tama me ye Greater Accra Regional Chairman no. Ubekaya na yen nkrofo be 17. Na omo person mu di president. Enti omo ba yen so. Me so meti honom small boy. Na me be Greater Accra Regional Chairman na me ye small boy pa o. Enti uba odwa we no an matro okufu amwa mu. Me ba na be president a mo be yi mu MCs o mu ministers so be yi bi percentage mu ya na me twiro ni nyina eto ho no. And I made it chinga na MPP4 executives or be a chair and improve documents. And I made it called National Executive Committee. And I'm also omo fuaso. And I made it called National Council. Alajete mu nyina ho and omujitum. And I'm instructing regional chairman. They say young ko ni any sa candidates nko sign. Eni omu nko sign. Inti eni na Akufo-Addo sign documents no. Oh, now me call rounder, me ye a copy of the documents. My project was screened so at Rome. Say way back in 2007, I saw today. Say ya nhwene me ye. Na ya ye nhihye hu bia. Ebe didi jankrofo sa na didi jankrofo e de munam ne beba. Munam no so ba e be very difficult for you to get sa sharpshooter no. Say sa sharpshooter no. O me ma ne mfa osika Njani. Because no this kind of journey because I didn't fashion who are motivated. Inti eno ni yehui. Inti let's go back to because media mabon the rules are. What is happening? Nanado sign here. Or sign here, your man is sign here. Say 40% of all cabinet position, ministerial appointments in part in the beche.
Okay.
Yen we recommending Crawford. Yen AG 2 minimum. Your stake woman. Nanado sign here. And I feel so 100% of all regional ministers, regional executive committees, and a bayi nipano, akoma nanado. Na nanado nso waji omo tumi so ye. Omo nso no metumi I recommend say yen yomudi. Now 100% of all MCs, a constituency, and our constituencies na omo form sa metropolis no. Omo no bayi nipano. On the patch no. And then I feel so 60% of all ambassadorial positions, boards, state and everything. Nanado is signing here. It's a document that is there. Nanado signing Ejitrumu. Unfortunately, Nanado lose 2008 election. Intimidate Koran say you find share constitution. You find share constitution. You find share my bed dim pass one day ever collapse there. A call trade fair. Gidi. O man find shame. Nanu ya call amendment or lego on so. Medical Inti minimum edin koma me simu nko hwe mu official document. Moses Samuel Crabbe me recommend me decide any buy say yen fan tudwa me ntu so aba ne fan share constitution no ye call ye no omo an fan tudwa mpo because omo di tudwa anka definitely delegates no exactly because one person be select ambassadors one person so be nya bi nti omo an fan tudwa. That is why I tell them say utu miswaba within the first 100 days I shall convene an amendment conference, table the thing, you approve it is there. Dr. Bawumia me quarters me say doc who call around who share my boss every constituency be 10 positions. Yeah. Let's put it in the constitution because you dry enum sir. So media no any would no it's almost the same. Who the patch no at that time was no on tea. Let me say who boss crown and sign here. Inti no, that's how to do it. Inti Kufo can say if you pretend to pay people, they'll pretend to work. Yeah. So it's important that we do structural changes within the party. Now some combo means not TikTok so end this combo. That is why sometimes I am miserable because me no muti hose. Any heading combo. It is a hot honum. Now who win election is laughable because the people sitting in front of me, they are not on TikTok. Omutiti ho ene edin komo ene omubisa questions inti we echi no betumi aye ni say ko gada omu na okasa na oye TikTok videos so who win election mako elections it's a closed election.
Okay.
The people who are going to vote, they are not on TikTok omuti wenim ena uni omukasa and they will ask you difficult questions because a one-on-one ene eka. So these are the things that I converse to people with.
Sir, obi bisa say why Dr. Sammy Crabbe abeka say.
Oh, me I mean you. Because some time ago, Tamale, that was a long time ago, back 2009. And I said, me contest Jake mo. I said me contest national chairman ache. And I call and you call and me kasa na nkrofo bi nipa bebre ba me wie na papa bi. Oba ba no say I'm really disappointed in you. Me say I'm really disappointed. I came all the way to see you. I'm disappointed. Me say, oh why? I say I thought I was some grey haired person, fat person with big stomach. Your name is bigger than you. I say, oh my goodness. Okay. I'm quite unassuming. Yeah, with your choco. Unim choco.
Unim choco pa.
Exactly. Me ma free asene.
Okay.
And aseno. Asene
cross.
There be asene ewo gamashi.
Okay.
There was asene wo hono.
Okay.
And me papa nso free English.
Okay.
English near Jamestown. And
typical Ghana.
Typical Ghana man. And I go school nso and the best college. And she said a King's College. Oh, 10 you and read my lips. King's College. And for about 90% of Ghana in Ghana. So school. Your friend Prempe College. Oh, into me suba ni mini dear. Oh, Charlie. Prempe. And the firm ko honum. And I mean name Musa. Colana School of International Business. Me mo MBA. Ku school of Monaco. In Monaco e Monte Carlo. Me ku school of me MBA. And me doctorate. And I feel so me shall say me share partner in Tempa. Mr. T as an organizer or constituency honor, BD regional chairman, and I'm good the second national vice chairman. Now, in the absence of general secretary, Yemrano, and I say she's the second national vice chairman and I act as general secretary. Yeah. In the absence of Coronel, I act as general secretary. So I have that kind of experience. Now, in between, before regional chairman, now me a secretary, Alliance for Change, and organizer Kumi Prekum. Rollins, I'm also a street guy. Oh, so when it comes to street forces, no, let me sapa. Na me ni aje to show a slim bastard. Money Reggie Rockstone. Ni esa. Hey, na me winning dancing competition.
Just now, sir.
Oh yeah.
And October 3. Oh,
Mesa. All of those things combined, you know. Oh, and I make it me Sammy Crabbe.
Right. Finally, delegacy to MPP 40, Ghana 40.
Oh yeah, basically, no, me feel say MPP, no, we are in a lot of trouble. Trouble ni internal. Yeah, you. If you say John Mahama, say this kind, no, why expanding the base ni biya. And the most important say best CC. Yeah. Now it will all start with decisions on the 3rd of October. And me nhwe ni penim me pe we asem say this yemfa mo bia our experience in political party management and this idea it will be a disaster. You making sure so say diversity, all regions I form you ko share 2016 regions na you win any na a coalition regions na you the win is our coalition 2016 coalition. You making sure say you be designing some map no bio. And in doing so, no, each of those regions must be represented. Ashanti, Bono East, Central, Western North, Greater Accra. The region with the highest number of registered voters must be represented, not by somebody keke, but by Obia, Onim, Awaya Party Juma, Wafemu, Onim, they say, and gidi. And I say, you are not electing a flag bearer. So Akoko Jina say me no utumi so aba me ba be win election. I can't even believe it because as I can say elections are won and lost at the polling station. I cannot win your election for you. My job is to make sure say remember all the resources, the capacity building be here bia. Let me know about na say my share data, ya mapping out my year research ni and then you I too so aba. Unimu community, we are youth, unim youth no crossing me. Because maybe elections are not one at the national office.
And elections, granted politics, are local.
Thank you, Tip O'Neill, former American speaker. All politics is local. Oh, because you see, I'm not for Brepa. Omo ko nsawabo ni sanya meni nina ka politics a relational. And you move in Crawford Edico. So you cannot sit at the national office and say, I want an election for you. And I tell them, say, oh yes, sir. And they just say, Bibi Frimuba. Now, Omono Mukakodi. But election is won by you. You have the power. As a national chairman, as Peter Lajetu told me, I'm a greater around chairman. I see you are just an administrative head. The politics is to be left down there. Provide them with all the resources, everything. It's an institutional approach. It doesn't matter. Sebi was involved in the 2024 campaign, not TikTok. Involved in the 2020 because the only time I'm even free, Greater Accra, no, you can say me Chesica resources, Emma candidates, Ashanti, any bono. And when they needed someone, our office said any day, I could hold myself and say leadership all these regions, no, and you're easy. Yeah, you frame me, how much, and I'm a so I am a part of, or I was a part of the campaign. Mitiniamasi. Obia on can be very careful because on your current afenso enu echi no nso currently I mean uti me advisor to Dr. Baomia Jobs and Employment Committee. So I say any obia our relationship, working relationship with not only Dr. Baomia but the team nina. I have that kind of working relationship, and beyond that, you know, can unity. No? Unity is a construct. It has to be unity in purpose. We are sure Crawford say omude omuno msebeka omumuna obi tiane na so krapwa odunu beche no because the way nim no so sin the and that's what you do. So then they giving the unity no, and that's what me say no. I also have a relationship with like all the other aspirants like Dr. Luchum Makono ho and Nakokasa person made national chairman. So how can I take care of your interest? Mako Brian Hodden Nakotenase Mako Kwame Japan ho Mako Kene Japan ho no, and Mako can say I can bring them to the table to sit down. And there are one person who can flow around to everybody and bring the unity. The last but not the least, discipline. There be a man for can say discipline. We can say discipline. Discipline comes from the word disciple.
Okay.
Disciple when a discipline and yet punitive. Discipline. If you want somebody to be disciplined, to follow, because we are disciples of Jesus Christ, we are disciples of Muhammad. We follow their rules and their laws. Into person obi follow a year. And yes, nobody can go and whip people to discipline them. But say your interest is taken care of. And then the promises we are giving you say the assured into blessed assurance. Me say me quite sorry. Me a Sunday school teacher.
Still now.
Yes, me a Sunday school teacher. And I feel so me say ese mi hwe mu yie pa me ma me yes a ma sem gidi pasa no me num sa me num jot me ye pasa because there's an assurance by Jesus say me hwe mu si yie pa then there's heaven for me but say ye heaven no free honoma it will be another matter me abema
right
because the man hwe mu am so me hwe bi I hold myself intimidated me can say it is very important very, very, very important. Say, you be assured, Crawford say, more profitable for them to follow the rules. Yes, we will call Aramibwa, Mohammed Nsu Ewuko, right. So if you want discipline in the party, it has to be structured. And so, be also, but me discipline one. What mean discipline? Me know I'll construct it and make sure that people's interests are taken care of. So, last but not the least, the me Kenya, my I have been there before. And I'm sure say this is the kind of person I am. These are the conversations I mean delegates. Delegates no but me I'm there with them in the bush doing one-on-one and then talking to them. That's why I'm here very confident and very calm.
Don't tell Mahmoud Bomia Kase was some party no and what it takes to be a running mate. And to do a running mate, Albeji.
This man pa. And or campaign mako dream maka say dog me ba me go dream sawai. Me go dream kakra me pe chairman edi. Me feel say make me a partner dog. Also the funny thing is that my background is in technology.
Yes.
Digitalization.
It's
meaning it's not here. Some common here. If I last time I call a book be amateur on post investment trust building in equity craft mede ma no ɛna me ɔtɔ mede ɛtɔ no Amazon ɛna mede ma no sɛ mede ma wo wobɛdi president a no use no they generative funding for SMEs no all serious so mede ma wo sɛ a we are ebedu on mewu na wahwɛ so na wo so the president ni nyina digitalization so talking across that's what I'm saying say it is the partnership between the chairman and and so people can say utumi so aba mini flag bearer and ebenya good relationship. No, it's not true. The thing is that I already have 2024 I worked with them, and then even now I am in there, and then the relationship. So that's how we can all make it happen.
Doctor, you for your time.